What's happening, all you weirdos? We got another episode of Strange Road for you. That's right. I'm Mikey, and of course, as always, we got Bub riding shotgun. How you doing tonight, Bub?
I'm awesome.
Doing great?
Doing great. Feeling great.
It's been a good day.
It's a good day.
Very good day.
Getting a lot of energy worked out.
A lot of energy's been moving here in the studio, behind the scenes. Great conversations, trying to figure out where we're heading in 2024, and I think today was one of the most illuminating days since we rebooted this show. So many, many blessings to all of you guys. Freaking rule, by the way.
Yep.
And we... Okay. All right, we just had a little behind-the-scenes chatter from our boys in Master Control. Stoner and Disbro are in the house. Let's give a hand to those guys.
Yeah.
There he is. Hey.
Look at that. Looking like Disneyland in there.
Absolutely.
Vote for Disbro and all of your dreams will come true.
Oh, dude. Well, we got Flutz in the chat. We got RU, Backyard TV, Cess in the City, Born Not to Run, Necro Mechanimal is here with us. Anybody else, pop in the chat if you're here with us. Many, many shout outs. You guys were on fire this past Monday, with Brandon Thomas's from Expanding Reality.
Yeah.
You guys brought it in the chat. There was so much excitement, energy moving. We were chatting with Brandon after the episode was over. He popped in there and was hanging out with us. Stoner's dad,
Papa
what's
Stone.
happening?
Good to see you.
Hope you're feeling better, buddy. We're with you. Many shout outs to the Stoner family. And we got Born Not to Run in here. You guys rule. And you guys brought it on Monday.
Yeah.
That was such a fun time, bro.
We've had some really good episodes lately.
We've had some good ones.
We've had some really fun records. We've had some live
that are
live shows that are fun. Yeah, we've had some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We just trying to keep the thing moving along and shifting into the different time of year now, where it's not as bright out. It's not as much sunshine to keep us a little bit vitamin D synthesizing through us.
Yep.
So we kind of get that seasonal effect of a little bit to where we got to keep ourselves from getting a little bit too. Brought down by the change in the weather, so
absolutely
we appreciate all you to keep.
And
us
also,
going.
I just realized that the ceiling light's on again.
Is that not supposed to be on?
No, it's not supposed to be on. That's okay. It just gives weird lighting in here, but that's all good. The last time it was on, I went over there off camera and tried to turn it off, and I turned all the lights on. So I'm not trying to do that again. If they're all up, that means they're off.
I love it. Love it.
Thanks, Disbro. Appreciate it. Oh, he did the same thing. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
But anyways, guys, we're ready to have fun tonight. We're loose. We're ready to chill. We're ready to get weird.
Yeah.
All you guys that have been in the merch store, our boy Cole from back home. We got Cess in the City, and we got Burton and Chasing Mound Builders, and our boy TJ.
Necro.
And look at that new post this week or late last week. Necro sent us this. The mystery of Necro is just deepening. We're always trying to figure out who is Necro Mechanimal, really. He does all this amazing, and there you are, buddy. I see you.
Might be one of the biggest mysteries, but we love it. We appreciate the hell out of you.
And go follow Necro Mechanimal in Instagram. I need to hit send. There it is. I had the link in there. I never hit send.
There you go.
So, Necro, we appreciate you, dude. You rule. You put out the dope. I mean, if we would have told you last year when we started this show that some guy just enjoyed our show and was going to create artwork for us, I'd call you a liar. I'd call bullshit on that.
I still don't understand it. I love it. I love it. I appreciate it. And
more than
the whole genesis of that kind of endeavor and relationship as it's gone through the show has been so much fun.
I believe.
Yeah.
From when we had Hollow Sky.
Like I said, I won't forget it, man. They're great posts. I laugh at every one of them.
Oh, dude,
They help me remember the shows. And me being a visual person really helps me remember topically what we talked about. So I appreciate them.
Yep. Absolutely. We know you got that, Stoner's dad. Papa Stoner. We know you got it, buddy.
Hell yeah.
Well, we can hop right in. I mean, you guys know where to find us. Make sure, specifically right here, hit that like button on this video. It really does seem, minimal, but it does help. Got to hit that notification bell.
You can literally help get this show more visibility by doing it. It doesn't seem like much because people always think I've got to do this or that to make a difference. No, we're telling you this does make a difference. If you share, like, subscribe, do that, tell a friend, whatever it is, it helps us.
Yeah. And, find us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Leave that review. 5 stars or bust.
Oh, yeah.
And this podcast episode is brought to you by, us. Strange Road Creative.
Yeah.
We have never promoted our company. We've never talked about the things that we do a whole lot. Some of you guys know we're a video production company. But if you guys out there know anybody that needs help with live streaming, virtual events, conferences, anything at all, you got a Bigfoot conference you thought you could get in contact with, or know a person that runs an event that's interested in AV, live streaming,
right,
all things video, live event wise. I mean, we'll come out and shoot B-roll at your event. But we're really trying to get the word out about what we're doing down here outside of the podcast with the production company and some of those things. And, all that just keeps these operations moving and moving forward. And honestly, I would much rather be shooting Bigfoot events and conferences and doing live stream events within the parameters of the strange.
Right.
So we do a lot of work for amazing corporate clients, and we love that work. But if I were to add more clients to our Rolodex, it would be within those realms. So, refer us, hit us up, contact@thestrangeroad.com.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're sitting at home thinking, what does that even mean? How do I extrapolate out what Mikey just said? What, live stream events? What are we doing here right now?
Yeah.
What we're doing right now is what they can do for you in that essence, right? So it's just food for thought. And, I've been on a number of those gigs too, even though it's not my forte necessarily.
Yeah, Bubs killer PTZ operator.
I like running cams.
Yeah, you make good coffee. And
I make good coffee. I like people to be happy. I like the vibes to be high the whole time on whatever project we're working on. But one thing I will say is that I've never walked away from a gig with you guys and heard anybody of the receiving end of the services go, man, I wish we would have went with someone else, or that was not what I thought it was going to be, like less than expected. It's always like, oh my goodness, that was, how did you even do that? How'd you think that? It's like, again, because this is kind of your wheelhouse, this is your realm. So
we can shoot cool shit.
Got to toot your own horn sometimes.
We don't, honestly, what it boils down to, the first sponsor of this podcast is Strange Road Creative. We are the sponsor of this show.
Right.
The production company, pays for the operations. All of our stuff is ad-free right now, and YouTube are monetized, but we keep these live streams and premieres ad-free as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
There's some things that we're working on right now to, add a little bit more value to what we're doing. Trying to create a little bit more, extra things that we can bring people in and be a part of.
Yeah.
Whether that's going to be Patreon, whether that's YouTube memberships. We're digging into a lot of stuff, guys. And, honestly, let us know what you think. I would love to hear what you guys think and what you guys want, even if it's as far as topics. We've done a couple polls on YouTube that were fun. Whether people wanted to hear us talk about ancient civilizations or so some of that engagement, we want to take that to the next level.
Absolutely.
So let us know what you hear. We're always open to, your thoughts, of course. You guys are what, really drives the show. So we appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you. Let's get right to it, Bub.
Go for it. You want me to start? You want to
go ahead? Go ahead.
All right. So this is starting off because I was listening to the interview with Grusch the other day, and he brought up this recovery that I thought we covered, but I don't think we ever did. And it was interesting just because the whole context of it was, like UFOs and crash retrieval and had it happen. He's like, well, of course it's happened, And the interviewer was like, oh, it was in 47. He's like, no, even before that. And even before this one in 33, we can go before that. So I was just like, got my brain spinning, what have you.
You talked about 33 and a couple Jesse Michaels on Rogan. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this comes from Popular Mechanics. The article does. And it's from a 1933 UFO crash in Italy. So, the article says, is Italy, not Roswell, New Mexico, the actual site of the first UFO crash on Earth?
I
question.
So.
And again, from what Grusch says, no. 1933 is not. But it's the first one we have on record openly out there.
That he can talk about.
Sure, yeah. So an Italian researcher claims to have proof that backs up recent allegations that a crashed UFO was recovered in Italy in 1933. The Italian ufologist Roberto Pinotti says the fascist dictator Benito Mussolini got his hands on a flying saucer after it crashed on June 13th, 1933. But the alien craft, Pinotti said, was captured by American forces at the end of World War II and sent to the U.S., right? quote from him, he said, "I and my colleague Alfredo Lissoni began investigating the story of the 1933 UFO crash in Lombardy in 1996 when we received some original secret documents about the case." So Pinotti's claims might have gone unnoticed in the sea of UAP chatter, except for the fact that they appeared to dovetail with the spectacular accusations of former U.S. intelligence officer David Grusch, who recently claimed that the Italian flying saucer was the first such object recovered by the U.S. The ex-National Reconnaissance Officer staffer also stated that he has evidence of a secret U.S. program that has obtained multiple non-human flying saucers, which I think is the OGA. The Office of Global Access,
yeah.
which I know not a lot.
Not
a lot. I know a lot of three-letter acronyms.
Some diddly.
I know enough that there's a CIA and an NSA, and there's What I'm saying is like the OGA. That's another one of those where it's like, what the hell is that even?
Or like the Center for Reconnaissance Intelligence. Like that's
Dude,
what Grusch
that's the one with the satellites.
That's the one with Grusch.
That's the satellites.
Running that. He was in that for like years.
That's the satellite.
That's how he got into the AARO and got in behind the scenes because he was doing all the reconnaissance.
That reconnaissance thing is where we have those satellites that could read a stick of butter from 4 miles up, or like read the face of a dime.
And how did we not have that crash? We talked about Michigan or
this
Lake
is what
Huron,
I talked about.
Where that spaceship or
Absolutely.
whatever it was, the octagon shaped.
You want a actual anecdotal?
We can find that.
Do you want an anecdotal story of how I know they can find it? Is because that patient I had when I was a nurse, who was an aerospace engineer at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Hello.
For Ball Aerospace, Ball Canning Jars, actually has an aerospace division they started.
And so does it National Cash Register.
Well, surprise, coming out of Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, National Cash Register.
Right around WPAFB.
That company is completely around in some way. It's
still around in some way.
Well, it's like a government contractor now. Nobody uses cash registers. People use computers and point of sale systems.
Yeah.
But my mom's old hardware store that she worked at, they had one of those big, giant, old National Cash Register, big old machines, and I used to just like hit buttons and play around with that. It's the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
But have done weird underground projects for going back years.
Probably.
And like, what are you making cash registers? What?
Again,
you're doing secret projects for Wright-Pat? Huh?
This lady said Ball Canning Jars, and I was like, I don't understand. She was like, Ball has an aerospace research division. And again, she looked like my grandmother. I was like, I'm talking to this lady, and she's blowing my mind. She didn't give me a lot of like hard details or anything, this, that, right? Because she was basically pretty tight-lipped about it. But what we talked about and how we got on the whole conversation, how I even found out she was an aerospace engineer, retired, was I had mentioned I'd read an article about those satellites and how we had this capability. And she's like, well, sure. I was like, what do you mean? Well, sure. I was like, oh, well, you're an aerospace engineer. You know about these satellites. And she goes, well, yeah, how do you think we found that space shuttle that blew up years ago in Texas? I said, what do you mean? She goes, we use those satellites and they could see all the pieces from space. And so that's why I'm like, when people look at me like I'm crazy, when I go, how do we not find this wreck? We can find whatever we want on the globe, on this planet at any freaking point in time. I believe that wholeheartedly.
You can find a hair on the back of an ant's ass.
Wholeheartedly.
Easy.
Wholeheartedly. If you know where to look. Yeah. Okay, you have a wreckage. It's over it's not. And the whole MH370, we just got to leave some of this stuff alone. But anyways, my strong belief,
obsessed with that shit right now.
My strong belief is that there's nowhere that you can, unless you're underground, and even then they could probably find some way of like getting some like ground penetrating like infrared radar to track you underground. Who knows? I don't want to give you any ideas, DARPA.
I don't know what they can do.
But they probably can. So that's the 1933 UFO Italy crash retrieval, and the U.S. came and took it from them.
The U.S. came, but didn't Hitler come down and see the craft? Or like Grusch talked about somehow
Mussolini saw it,
the Nazis came in, and that was some of the early basis for the Nazi technology, where some of their because Italy didn't have the scientists to understand what the hell that thing was. So they brought in German scientists, the early Nazi scientists, from what Grusch, I thought, said that I could be totally misremembering this, but there was something where the Nazis came down and at least studied that craft in this case.
Yeah. Are you ready for this next shift?
Sure.
We're going from conspiracies of when the first retrieval was to the conspiracy of should you go into deep space as a man, you might suffer some deep disappointment.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the form of, you might need to take some Cialis with you, or some Blue Chew, or some Viagra, because apparently galactic cosmic rays can impair function of erectile tissues. Research in rats shows. So we're boldly going where nobody wants to go, right? As it is.
Who's signing up for that?
This is from The Guardian. In the study, you know, again on rats of November of this year, has found that it's affecting the erectile tissue of these rodents, right? So the article says, as if homesickness, wasting muscles, thinner bones, and an elevated cancer risk, the inescapable company of overachievers, and the prospect of death in the endless vacuum of space were not enough to contend with, male astronauts may return from deep space prone to erectile dysfunction, scientists say. Hold on. It's not just while you're out there. It might be permanent.
Well, the damage is done, bud. You know? Maybe it's just...
You already cooked your noodle. The cosmic rays. You know what you need? You know what you need? A lead-lined JG. You need to protect.
Yeah, that's
you need to protect that.
Nether region, if you will.
God,
man.
Jay. Well, we'll leave that. It's kind of like a jockstrap.
The future Patreon episodes will let you in that.
Jockstrap. So anyhow. The warning comes amid renewed focus on deep space missions, with NASA and other major space agencies preparing for long-term expeditions to the moon and more ambitious voyages to Mars. NASA's Artemis program aspires to send astronauts to the moon as early as next year, with crewed missions to Mars tentatively lined up for as early as 2040. So I'm not joking. That's a concern. Do you want to go out into space in the next year? I mean,
no.
How do we take care of that? I think that's the only thing you can do is say, hey, we know it's going to be heavy weight on you, literally around your waist here, Mike. Yeah. But when you go out there, you're going to have to wear this lead-lined jockstrap. Maybe they could get you like a thinner version of like a mithril, a lead mithril Bilbo Baggins for your Baggins.
Jesus. Okay. Wow. This just went.
Oh. But anyhow, Earth is highly protected from cosmic radiation by the planet's magnetic field and substantial atmosphere, right? But on the moon and Mars and in space between, there's no effective barrier.
So what did they do the first time we went to the moon?
I don't know. Did all those guys have a lot of children?
Neil Armstrong had kids. They all had children.
But you know what? They weren't in.
Does that prove that we didn't go to the moon?
I don't think they were in space for a long time, though. What did he say? Weren't they talking about shielding from the rays with possible water in the... Oh, maybe, Flutz. Who knows? That you got to shield it somehow. And again, from my previous work with radiation, I wore lead all day. I looked like a ninja. You know, we'd put on our lead shield, thyroid collar, because anything that was susceptible to that radiation, especially your thyroid here, you know, you can get some issues.
Right.
So you'd wear that collar and you'd wear all this to protect all your organs. And
that's why you take iodine if you're like a nuclear power plant worker. There's a meltdown, they give you iodine, right? Because that cleans out your thyroid gland from radiation. That I don't know. Is that a similar thing?
Well, that'd be nuclear though.
Right, nuclear.
I don't know.
We're morons.
You're tapping it. I'm not that intelligent.
No.
Anyhow, so out there in space, there's no effective barrier. On board the ISS, crews are protected by shielding in Earth's magnetic field, but still receive in 1 week as much radiation as a person on the ground would experience in a year. 1 week in space is worth a year's time of radiation down here. That's a lot.
Right. I mean, that have you ever seen those visuals of the Earth's electromagnetic rays?
Now we're not even talking about going through the Van Allen belts yet.
Oh, I know.
And that's like a friggin'
you're getting
atomic bomb of radiation.
You're getting your noodle nuked, so not even just cooked.
Yeah. So not that it was all bad news for future spacefarers. Treatment with specific antioxidants appeared to improve tissue function after exposure to galactic cosmic rays, suggesting male astronauts bound for Mars need not be too deflated. He likes it.
So the Cialis, the medications, you got to be on that all day.
I'll tell you what, it takes 6 months to get to Mars currently is what Flutz is saying. I'll tell you what, 6 months, I don't think you're getting it up after that long.
No, you're done.
I
don't see it.
It's just whatever. There's a price to pay, right? Maybe that's why aliens Whoa, never thought about that. Maybe that's why, when they always talk about like reproductive and this and that, maybe that's what, hold on. Maybe that's what we are. It's like we are this reproduction facility, the Earth, right? They always talk about aliens not having, genitals or this, that, just, a couple, maybe slits for nose holes and maybe a mouth, eyes, but they're not rocking, carriage down below.
Right.
So maybe that's what's going on. Maybe that radiation, who knows? We're like in this radiation anemone inside the Earth,
Yeah.
Wow. Whew, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
You want to do this next one?
Yeah, I can do it.
Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
How about it?
So we got AI influencer, Atania, Clueless, Agency Tech. So this is a Business Insider article. And basically, a Spanish modeling agency said it created the country's first AI influencer who can earn up to 10,000 euros or $11,000 a month as a model. The AI-generated woman, Atania Lopez, is a pink-haired 25-year-old. Her account has amassed 124,000 followers on Instagram. Here it is in the link, guys.
Wow.
I just linked that in the chat. You guys can all take a look. There she is. Stoner's got her up. But if you really want to look at this page, I just popped that in the link for you, in the chat for you. Cruz told Euronews that he decided to design Lopez after having trouble working on with real models and influencers. We started analyzing how we were working and realized that many projects were being put on hold or canceled due to problems beyond our control. Often it was the fault of the influencer or model and not due to the design issues, he said. Cruz said that she was created with a personality based on what society likes most, the algorithm of society. Per Euronews, so FanView's CEO Will Monage told Bellino that he believed AI-generated characters would thrive and soon be as widespread as human creators.
Oh, sure.
Oh, you don't have to deal with all those guys in the TikTok house. Those YouTube, the guys they put up in those kids they put up in those TikTok houses, and they're partying all the time. They're late to events. You got to deal with these like young people that are very, very difficult to deal with. So let's just create fake people. And who are you paying? You're paying what?
A digital designer, algorithm.
The designer makes the money?
Algorithm prompter. I don't know. Does she talk? Or is it just...
It's just images right now.
Just images.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. I don't want to jump here.
It's
I don't want
wild.
to jump you too much here on this article.
No, I mean, that's really, really... I mean,
okay.
That's pretty much about it. It's not a super long article, but...
I started following some of these accounts on Twitter just because it blew my mind.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute. So that's not a real person.
Yeah.
And but it lends itself to my theory.
Yeah.
Which, when taken to its full achievement, is scary. Mm-hmm. But you got, what was it? There was just a video of Kim Jong-un the other day on Twitter where they're like, Kim Jong-un's crying about, the population to these women. Like, he's trying to like tell his society, like, have more kids.
Yeah.
Like population collapse and all this stuff they talk about. And it's like, you talk about like 8 billion people on the planet, but every developed country, for the most part, I think, is talking about a population collapse. And I might be wrong about this, but I'm going to paint with a broad
Some people
brush
are
here.
talking about it. With 8 billion people, you would think that'd be really hard to collapse, but I guess it happens pretty fast.
My thing is, this is like the movie with, what's his head, Joaquin back in the day. She or her or whatever it was, where you had like the digital or the AI like girlfriend.
Yep.
Because I've thought about this, like, it's hard, right? It's hard to have a conversation. I don't even know what the dating world's like. I've not dated in a long time, so it was weird for me even back then. But today, can't imagine it. But what I started to theorize was like, for all these people that aren't good at dating, guys and girls or whatever, however it goes about it, if you get to a point where you don't even have to date, now you can just have this AI character. And then if they can start talking, and then if you can start making these robots, and I was like, you want to talk about population collapse? We will have this whole weird, like, we're rushing towards like merging with tech in such a weird way that I can't even explain it.
Yep.
Like, I think we're just going to like wake up one day and it's going to be like, Hey, Bob's wife, he bought her at Home Depot.
Yeah.
He's got her downloaded with a new cleaning app. Like, she goes and cleans like a machine, bake the best pie, and Bob, Or, you can go out and get the Jeff model, and Jeff knows how to, like, build the best hot rod. And, you can download a new model of Jeff. And I don't know. Like, it's weird to me. It's really weird. But it's funny because
Bruce
on this
Willis.
scale, dude.
Yeah.
What do you want? Like you said, do you want to pay somebody like that might show up, that might not show up. You can just program this thing.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Well, Bruce Willis got way ahead of this and sold his likeness for all AI endeavors in the future.
I tried to explain this to someone the other day of how they'll see him in a movie in the future and he'll talk and he'll have lines and it's going to be Bruce Willis.
Estate will be getting paid.
His
kids, their kids.
Do you know why?
In perpetuity.
Think of it this way.
He's very, very smart.
Think of it this way.
I mean, shit.
Jimi Hendrix. Kurt Cobain,
Tupac already is
whoever
hologram,
but every one of them, the Jimi Hendrix experience makes more money every year than he ever made when he was alive. Like they make more. ABBA is going to start touring digitally with digital AI.
Oh boy.
They'll make money on these tours where they don't even ever leave the house. It's their music, it's their catalog, and they send out their digital tour.
It's just holograms of them, or
right?
Jesus,
it's strange. I'm just saying.
You could go see Pearl Jam in like 100 years and it'd still be Eddie and all the boys just slaying. That's crazy, dude.
It's really
so like,
and the better and better it gets, and then you could just say, hey, we get AI robots that look just like it.
But the greatest thing about people is our creativity, is that we can create books and write books and create paintings and create artwork. Like they didn't think AI and this would, they thought originally that it would change manufacturing. It would take away the jobs of the everyday factory worker, the jobs that really, most people just don't want anyways. But instead,
it's coming for everybody's lunch.
But it flip-flopped, and the first thing that it could do better was write a better song than anybody. Make an art. Well, not
it can
now
imitate. I don't know if I can say
but it can
write a better,
not
but
a better
it can
song,
imitate very closely.
It can write a better song than me. I'm not a songwriter.
Yeah. Necro said Kiss is going to do tours with avatars. Yep. I mean, dude, Gene Simmons ain't missing that opportunity.
No, he loves money.
Oh, he's good at making money too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that's interesting about that is that, how will Kiss have such a staying power? For groups and stuff like that, they need us to be around to pass it on.
When we were
but
kids.
They need us still. They need somebody to still remember,
right?
Because you can't launch a no-name band that nobody knows to go on tour. Maybe you could, but what I'm saying is they have to do it now before everybody forgets him. Like even Bruce Willis, he hadn't acted in a movie in a long time, but if you made a movie with him still, I'd still watch it, even though I don't. It's too weird. That almost is like we're living in the Matrix at that point. Your brain tells you that it's not really Bruce Willis in the movie, but we do that now. We're say, Nutty Professor, Eddie Murphy plays 6 parts. He can't always, he's not even really talking to himself in certain scenes or what. That's like my dad used to always complain about Hollywood films and green screens and stuff. And now I think I finally get it, where he was just it's just not real anymore. The whole like a live album, if somebody records a live album, all of that's happening in real time at once. It's you can't do anything else about it.
Yeah.
Jeez, we just went down a real rabbit hole.
But it's taken all the creative jobs, and even the point of
it's going to take everything.
And non-creative jobs, like influencers. Who would have thought that a real person didn't matter anymore to sell a product? Who would have thought that just a fake photo, an AI-generated image of a chick in pink hair was going to do a better job than some dude in a TikTok house at slinging their product? I never conceived that. That's so freaking wild, man. 2024 is going to be the year of AI. If 2023 wasn't already, 2024, we're going to see some major changes, bro. Major. We already did. ChatGPT 4 came out, and everybody's already using it as virtual assistant to write copy for their business, for their social media posts.
You should be if you're not. It's
almost like if you're not doing that, yeah. And, we probably need to utilize those tools a lot more down here.
Yeah.
But it's I still want to write my own, I guess, I don't know. That's a whole other conversation.
Again, I think where that uniqueness will come in is how you prompt it now.
Yeah.
How do you get the most out of it, and how do you actually give it the input it needs? Because it makes me think of programming and software
good
in
at
general.
Googling. My dad's not good at Googling.
That's a real skill. It's a real freaking skill.
Jamie Vernon from the Joe Rogan podcast might be the best Googler ever.
Oh, I always joke that my Google IQ is off the charts. But prompting is important to be able to get the most out of it, to get the effective version of this or the whatever you want out of it. And it's a learning process. But
excuse me.
It'll get better and better. It'll get more and more integrated. You know, you got the Ray-Ban sunglasses that got the Meta installed on them now. And we're talking about augmented reality out in front of you, you know, where like, say if you got those glasses on, now instead of my laptop screen, those glasses could display like this whole room. I could have, you know, just giant screens everywhere, but it's just augmented, you know. That stuff's really going to get nuts. Yeah. And who knows? Yeah, like Michael J. Fox futuristic type, right? Mm-hmm. This next one's a weird one. Do you want to do this one?
Go ahead.
November 28th, tech conference canceled after using AI to generate fake women speakers. Here we go. And it's just, you know, what's happening? An organizer of an upcoming software and developer conference called DevTernity has been accused of cooking up fake women speakers featured on the event's website. AI-generated headshots and all. Well, we just covered a couple of those articles, and I mean, they do a convincing job, and they don't just do headshots. There's whole videos. Again, I follow a lot of Twitter accounts, research. It looks a lot like a horrifically misfired attempt to pad out the apparent diversity in a heavily male-dominated space. So last week, software engineer and writer, Gurgly, is that how you would say it? Gurgly. I'm going to say Gurgly. Oz discovered that the conference, quote, lists fake or invented Coinbase and Meta engineers as speakers on conferences, 4 of them in 2021, 2022, and 2023. The profiles of the exclusively female speakers featured made-up names, titles, and even AI-generated headshots. And it doesn't just end at fake conference speakers. Sivovs has also admitted to running an Instagram account that features over 1,000 photos of a woman called Julia Kursina. On his LinkedIn, Sivovs boasts about growing, quote, the account. This is another quote. This is damaging to all women in tech, even the ones that have nothing to do with the conference, Fong Jones told Bloomberg, because now we're going to be asked even more often all these questions about our authenticity. So it's kind of a real slimy thing to do, like underhand. Like, this isn't just now. This goes back a couple of years. But this goes back to my point where I said, like, you know, one day we're just going to realize, like, not even on this level, but like, you know, not just because I know you, it couldn't be you, but like one day somebody be like, you know what? I just found out Mikey's a robot. I had no idea.
That'd be strange.
I think it's happening right now.
In a virtual sense, yeah.
No. I like to go even further. I'm like, man, they probably test them out all the time.
Yeah, maybe
put them in a little overcoat.
Send them to the
rainy
mall.
nights, put a hat on them.
Send them to the mall and Hot Topic.
Looking like Saul Goodman at Cinnabon.
One's just working at cinema. Would you like extra icing?
Oh, man, I love it. But yeah, so this, you know, the AI stuff is coming on strong. It's not slowing down. We got all these digital personas. You know, we have creators and blue collar and white collar workers alike.
Everybody's
getting you know, really concerned and rightfully so. Yeah, artists,
creators. Yeah.
And again, is it going to steal every last bit of it? No, but man, it might take like 50% or
it
more.
Like again, the next year it might take 50%.
I'm just saying. There's still going to be a price to pay for. I go to a restaurant and say I want to have a real waiter, not a robot waiter, whatever. Like, if there's a choice, it's going to become a choice in the future.
It's going to be niche. It's going to be very niche. You want to go to a niche restaurant where you have a person that brings your, you know, your steak and your potatoes to your table.
No GMOs. This will be no robos. You know, something like that. I mean, believe me, because there'll be levels where people will, like, you know, everybody holds out against something, whether it's not wanting to go to smartphones or not wanting to, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, my wife.
Go to central air in your house, or there's always a resistance at some stage, and there's always going to be somebody that keeps pushing it. I don't think it's ever going to stop. No. And I don't think we're going to stop with AI and robotics and Boston Dynamics and all the, you know, stuff that they're making. And very interesting. Very interesting.
Which brings us to the next article.
You want to go ahead?
Yeah, Sam Altman appears to admit the existence of a secret new doomsday AI system he helped build that basically can leap to artificial general intelligence. So we talked about, I don't know what episode it was, if that episode was even released yet, but
who knows?
Sam Altman getting fired as CEO and then bringing him back. What was that about? Yeah. Well, this might have been part of that. So we're going to jump into it.
Yeah, please do.
So Sam Altman has appeared to lead credence to the story that he was fired from OpenAI over his company's super powerful secret new AI system he helped build. Multiple employees reportedly warned the company's board of directors that this project, named Q, pronounced Q-Star, was becoming so advanced that it could already pass math exams and perform critical thinking tasks. And they felt Altman was not taking their warning seriously. A lot of these guys don't. Larry Summers from Google being one of them. Him being a non-humanist, just doesn't really care about human beings.
He's on the board of OpenAI now.
Exactly. So that's where we're at here. In an interview this week, Altman did not deny the existence of a secret program that some employees said was responsible for his firing. Instead, he called the revelation of Q an unfortunate leak. Oh, okay.
Really?
Altman was fired, then hired by OpenAI investor Microsoft. Oh boy, Bill Gates, your boy.
Oh, just wringing his hands.
Your boy.
He's just ready.
Yep, that's
He's
Bubs.
just ready.
That's your best friend,
I love
bud.
Bill Gates. He's the best guy on the planet.
He loves you.
Bill
Gates loves all of you.
He's a people person.
Yeah. No.
He loves pie.
Well,
I love pie, so it's all good.
And then he rehired, which also gave the boot to most of the board.
Oh, yeah.
And the board that cut Altman. So when he came back, he booted all of them, right? So all of this happened just not that long ago.
I don't really know how he got back in there yet. There was a lot of interesting things that happened. 700 and some employees out of 100 and change. Nearly 90 or 95% of the company after he got thrown out or kicked out, whatever. I shouldn't say thrown out, but kicked out or left off the board. Almost 90 to 95% of the company was going to leave with him. Engineers, everybody. Mm-hmm. So then it was like, oh God, we got to bring him back. And then it was like, so it was this really weird, what the heck is going on? Who jumped the shark here?
Tech companies are inner workings of those tech
Mother
companies.
Superior jumped the gun.
Yeah, that's a great tune. But
yep.
So when confronted with the question about Q in an interview with The Verge, he had the opportunity to deny the program existed. Well, the public learned about the existence of Q in a recent Reuters story, which also shared some concerns raised by the employees in a warning letter to the board. But that news story only covered Q in the letter's contents in general terms, and as Reuters reported, the reporters did not review the letter, so there's some questions there. With all this uncertainty, Altman was well positioned to deny the existence of Q and dismiss it as a baseless rumor. So you're reading something, just blurt it out.
Necro said, "There's a conversation about how's anybody gonna make money in the future, and this and that, and if AI takes over." And Necro said they'll pay you to generate electricity and watch advertisements like that Black Mirror episode. And I know what you're talking about. And that freaked me out.
Yeah,
you get
or
your
WALL-E.
credits.
WALL-E. You ever seen the Pixar movie WALL-E?
Yeah, but
it's creepy.
The Black Mirror episode, it's more like you're like a lab rat guinea pig stuck in this little cage, and you just wake up and play this video game every day, or get on this bicycle and ride whatever it was. It was like
to pull energy from heat source or whatever.
Great reference, Necro. Black Mirror is a really great series.
I had to stop watching it. It's freaking me out.
Yeah, I've taken a break. I've not necessarily watched all of them. I watched quite a few.
Yeah, a couple of those. Just oh boy.
Yeah.
So, with all the uncertainty, Altman, basically denies the existence of Q. Baseless rumor, guys. No, nothing to see here. Instead, he seemed to confirm it. No particular comment on that unfortunate leak, he said, but what we have been saying 2 weeks ago, what we are saying today, what we are saying a year ago, what we were saying earlier on, is that we expect progress in this technology to continue to be rapid, and also we expect to continue to work very hard to figure out how to make it safe and beneficial. I don't think they are, in a lot of sense. People working in AI have warned that once computer scientists achieve general artificial intelligence, AGI, big difference, it may become more powerful than humans and can contend with it.
I don't think maybe is the right word. We know in certain ways it'll be just, again, incalculably faster than we are and more powerful. It's just there's no way we...
So the general AI could even view humans as a threat that must be eliminated, enlisting the internet and computer infrastructures to carry out a doomsday plan.
Yep.
Such fears align with experts' predictions that one day AI will reach a point known as the singularity, when the technology has become more powerful and intelligent than humans can compete with, changing the course of our evolution. That's where do we merge with it? Before it discards us. Former Google engineer Ray Kurzweil once predicted that the singularity would arrive by 2045. He might not be that far off, dude.
He's pretty good with his predictions.
Yeah, in April,
pretty strong futurist.
In April, more than 25,000 people signed an open letter calling for a 6-month pause in AI research. At the time, Altman said he had agreed and with calls for caution, but he disagreed with the technical nuance contained in the open letter. He did not sign it. Reports have claimed that several employees wrote a letter to the OpenAI board before Altman was removed from OpenAI. The letter is said to detail how Altman's company was working on a new AI discovery that was dangerous, and serious risks were involved with commercializing the technology, whose potential consequences of the company did not firmly grasp. They didn't understand. Reuters reported that
that's a common problem.
Right. I mean, you're dealing with life-changing technology. They're focused on the tech. They're focused on the thing, not focused on progress. Then what? 10 years later, we're going to look back and go, damn, we should have slowed down on progress, hit the pause button.
We need the ability to be able to have Stoner hit a button on the slide deck that just inserts the Jeff Goldblum. You never stopped thought about, should you? Or if you could. We should just be able to have that. Every time we're man, we're wandering into a Jurassic Park scenario now?
Yeah. So Reuters reports that, Q was the reason that Altman was fired. And because of these advanced abilities of this new system, and sources said that Q was already acing math tests, while the last version of ChatGPT 4 still struggles with high school exams.
Fair enough. Okay, so we're talking about pretty good leaps.
Yeah, so ChatGPT 4 launched in March, giving it time to advance, while Q has yet to be confirmed. Sources also claim Q could use nonlinear methods such as tree of thoughts, Monte Carlo tree search, or MCTS, or process supervised reward models, PRMS, and a learning algorithm. However, OpenAI staff are said to believe that Q could not be the breakthrough that enables the development of AGI. Now,
it could be.
Could be. Did it say could be?
Could
breakthrough.
Yeah, just want to make sure. Yeah, it could be.
Okay, I read that wrong.
Yep, that's all right.
Could be the breakthrough.
It could be.
That enables the development of artificial general intelligence.
Yeah. Whoa, bro. So that's why there's been a big to do. That whole what was it called? APAC. Isn't that when all that was going on? All the tech up in San Francisco? That's when this event was happening. Sam Altman did this talk at the APAC or whatever it was. I think it's that. I don't know. I'm not great with this again. I'll get better as I go. But anyhow, yeah, that's really advanced already. Yep. Most people, I will show my wife Chat GPT or something, and again, I don't even pay for it. I'm just using the free version. So I don't even get the good tier or X, Twitter, formerly, right? Mm-hmm. Has Gronk. I think it's Gronk or Grok or whatever it's called. They have their own AI. Elon does. You can pay for that for whatever it is a month. And that's, a powerful AI as well. It's hold on. So now all these companies are now offering their own AI bots, and there's different, what's going on?
And then there's other apps like Assist that will just help you with certain business tasks that are already you don't even have to prompt it. It'll just say, hey, what do you need? But Assist app on your phone uses ChatGPT 4.
Yeah.
So you have these overlay apps that are starting. So ChatGPT 4 is just being used as the platform underneath it for all these other products.
I'll tell you what I think is going to happen, and this is going to be a bold one, but we talked about Ray Kurzweil here. If you guys don't know who Ray Kurzweil is, he's a great futurist, and he has a pretty interesting documentary. I think it's called something like that, The Futurist, or this, that. But
some would argue that he's also a non-humanist as well.
He might be. He takes a lot of pills every day. But to keep himself alive, I believe, or at least he did in that last documentary. But
trying to cryogenically freeze himself.
He might do that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I'm trying to get in that same line of thinking of working that out. Damn it, I lost the thought. We got too far down the weeds. I had it.
It's okay.
It's gone.
This is a weedy episode, if you.
Oh, I got it. I got it back. There was I want to say it was an MIT student, maybe not, but I believe it was an MIT student. They were showing this device that they made, right? Where basically you wear this, like, it looks like something from Star Trek, dude, but you wear this like head device piece. It goes down your jaw. You can literally turn your thoughts into speech. You never have to talk. The thought of whatever word you were going to hit here gets intercepted somewhere before that little motor movement, and it can interpret what the word is. So what I'm saying is, you now go from where it's like, right now I have to prompt Chat GPT, but if I was wearing this like special headset today and I'm going, man, I got to schedule a meeting at 3 and I got to do this today and I got to do this. And if that thing is taking my thoughts and like augmenting in the background and like creating what I need basically through what I'm internal monologuing, there's all these adaptable stages where I think we are really,
it's reading your mind and pulling the data from your mind too to make the AI better. It's pulling your thoughts.
Well, that's not even going full Neuralink yet with the chip implant in your head.
That's
like this is still on an external device basis. Dude, you want to go full, cut you open and tinker with your ticker? We can go there too. How wild is that?
Full Ex Machina.
Bro, Ex Machina is a great film. Speaking of Ex Machina, Kyle, you mind pulling up this next bit? We got a video here for you because we keep talking about AI and robotics. And
Muchas gracias, Señor Stoner.
I found this one interesting. I think we actually left off the article about the gentleman in a factory that was killed by a robotic arm. Picked him up and slammed him into the wall like he wasn't supposed to be. And you're good. And he got grabbed and smacked around. And I hate to say, I think he passed away from this. So there's also that real, concern of like,
who's
machines.
On the hook for that death?
Machines until we can program something there. Like, how do you, I don't know, man. That'd take a lot of trust. So here's the video we're talking about. This is a new employee of a gas station in Hangzhou, China. And, you pull up, you get to a spot, that robotic arm literally opens up your gas tank, unscrews the cap, pumps it in there. You have a human for oversight. This is also what we're talking about with Chat GPT and all these AI assistives. You can't totally remove the human aspect necessarily yet, or I don't think that's the model they're going for. But what you do is you really reduce the overall amount of need for any of that, right? Like, it just takes it so far away that you need like 1 or 2 people to do it. Used to might take 10 times the amount or 100 times the amount, and that's across all industries. It's banking, that's whatever, like tech. It's everywhere. It's just. I don't think anybody dreamt it was gonna just one day show up, literally like the Terminator, but not like it was gonna come up with guns and kill us. But it was Terminator, like, I'm here for your job.
I'm gonna take all your jobs.
I'm here to take your job.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah. Thought you wanted the motorcycle and the shotgun, Arnold. Jobs. Give me your spatula. I want to make the burger.
You don't make pizza anymore.
Let me put gas in your gas tank.
Yeah,
no.
Hey, I'm okay with that.
You can put my gas?
Hey, you want to put my gas? I got no problem.
Make it look like Arnold, though, at least.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I wonder if Neuralink could remove migraines. Probably.
I know some people that could really benefit from that.
Probably. It could probably handle that. It could probably handle a lot of, hopefully, neurodegenerative, like neuromuscular.
You know what else can help with that?
What?
Mushrooms.
Well, marijuana or certain CBD and stuff too for like Parkinson's. And I've seen a lot of, but I think I've also seen like deep neural implants or like brain stimulators for that as well that can get people to
come with me if you want.
If you want. Come with me if you want a living. Not if you want to live, if you want a living. Damn, Necro, that was perfect. Thank you. That just put the cherry on the top of the...
It's rich, as they say.
That's so good. Oh man,
did we end that last article? You already moved on to
it was just a video. Yeah, you want to do the next one? You want me to do it?
Sure, go ahead. My computer's way
I'll
over
do
there.
the article here.
It's way over there.
And I'm going to skip that one for now, just because I think we already did it. But we'll talk about this one first. So we've got a from. Let me just get to the actual article so I can do this proper. So this is from iflscience.com, and this is 2 days ago it was published. And this article is about a prehistoric colossal tomb was greatest engineering feat of the Stone Age. That's an impressive headline. You know? Let's follow it up.
I'm into it.
Let's follow it up. An enormous burial mound in southern Spain has been hailed as one of the most impressive structures of the Neolithic period following a new examination of its humongous features. Known as the Manga Dolmen, I just like the name, Manga, M-E-N-G-A.
Strong.
The incredible monument is thought to have been built around 5,700 years ago. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a good date.
Pre-ancient Greece.
You know what's in it?
You asking me?
Yeah. I don't know who else I'm asking. E.T., you got an answer? All right, nothing. It contains the skeletons of several hundred ancient individuals. Well, all right, let's dig in deeper. Weighing around 150 tons, Manga's capstone is the second largest stone ever used in a Neolithic dolmen. And the overall structure is described by the researchers as the most colossal stone monument built in its time in Europe. After analyzing the dolmen's oversized building blocks, the study authors discovered that the ancient builders also chose to work with the soft stone that required a huge amount of technical skill and logistical organization to erect. Right. Located on a hilltop, the tomb was carefully oriented to provide three major locational advantages. For instance, the dolmen's position perfectly aligns with the nearby mountains known as Lover's Rock and the Sunrise, which produces a complex pattern of light and shadow inside the chamber. The porous nature of the stones used to construct the tomb would have ordinarily have left them vulnerable to water damage. To overcome this problem, Manga's designers insulated the largest stones with large mounds or tumuli made of alternating layers of carefully interlocking flat sandstones and pressed ground.
There you go. That's how the mounds here were built.
Wow.
Yes, layers of sand. Hey, by the way, shout out Cryptids of the Corn. What's happening? Is that Mr. E in there? I see. Love you, brother. Yeah, I mean, you know, here in Ohio, there's weird layers of different types of sand. You have brown sand, yellow sand, and the sand came from all over. Yeah. And then they have layers of clay that, you know, the ones in Indiana, I think we talked about before, had these kind of tombs, stone structures inside of them, with this, you know, clay structure around it, completely encapsulating like 6 or 7 bodies.
Right.
So it's really interesting that you see, and by the way, Graham Hancock's doing some incredible work from what I understand down in the Amazon right now.
Oh, really?
With mounds that are super similar to what we have in Ohio and stuff that you see in England. Like there's a whole mound culture in the Amazon that they're discovering too. So... like that is
maybe we'll just keep finding out more and more.
Mm-hmm. It's the theme.
I think they're going to get a lot of benefit from LiDAR down there.
Yeah.
You know, but hopefully it also still
and that's crazy.
Churns out that on the ground investigation if you can get to it, you know, if it's still accessible. But here's one of the arguments for personal jetpacks.
That's
right?
Gonna be good.
Serious, you got to get Graham in there. You got to get deep into some of these remote areas, like trekking in stuff's difficult.
Yeah.
Not kidding, man.
You got to be able to drop down below the canopy somehow with a jetpack. Just burn all the leaves away as you drop in.
Some of these jetpacks don't put out like heat like that. Like
the
one guy that's got the just box,
like hydrogen.
He just stands on that box, and I don't know what he does to get it up and going, but he goes flying around at super fast speeds. He races Lamborghinis and high-speed boats.
He's a wild dude.
He's an interesting character.
Wild dude.
You got the ones where you got the jetpack with the arm sleeve things.
Right, right.
You know?
We put Joel Thomas in one of those first. Yeah.
I'd try one out. I would try one out. I remember it was years ago. It was in New Zealand. I think they were doing it as a tourist attraction. I think I saw a show on it. But it was a really weird concept, right? It was like a personal like drone device, but you sat in this like exoskeleton that had this like propulsion helicopter style, like pull you up singularly in it.
That's
and like fly around and whatever. but it was real like, you know, it's
robust.
not like, well, you can't just very
rigid,
herky jerky. Yeah, you can't. There's no movement to it. It's not fluid.
You're just going up, and hopefully you're going to come down.
Yeah. Well,
there's not a lot of control.
They had a parachute built into it. I do remember that. I think it was like a Popular Mechanics thing. I used to love reading Popular Mechanics.
Hey, how about you guys out there? How about you guys? You guys got anything you want to chat about? Anybody?
What's strange?
Throw it in the chat. What's going on out there?
Oh yeah, Necro. You're talking about curing migraines by getting I think it's called your inner tragus or your tragus of your ear pierced.
Oh,
migraine leaf for the cartilage for some reason can help.
Yeah, my buddy Sammy, who passed away. Shout out Sammy, you're an amazing human being. Sammy quit smoking by getting acupuncture in his ears. So the acupuncturist didn't put anything on his body. Put these, the little needles, they right into certain parts of his ears, and then I think like 2 on his eyebrows, and that was it. And it was like a 30-minute session. Never smoked a cigarette ever again.
That's interesting.
Isn't that wild? I still to this day have not found any acupuncturist that has ever heard of this technique. I had a friend, our buddy, man? Remember Anil?
Maybe it was the power of suggestion.
Remember our buddy Anil from back in the day?
Sure.
Indian guys to work with? Sure. Great dude.
Yeah.
His buddy had kind of left medical school and became an acupuncturist. And he's a really, really talented acupuncturist. And I asked him about that. And he's like, I've never heard of that. I don't know what kind of, like where did he get that from? I've never heard of anybody else having that either. But that's a similar thing. You get your ear, it's these pressure points in your ears. You get your ear pierced when we got our ear pierced when we were in high school.
I had my ear pierced for one day.
You always heard Test Toby, shout out Test Toby, ear pierced, pierced my ear.
Is that who did it?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And just pushed it through. And I'm like, oh God, is she going to hit that pressure point where I'm just going to fall over and die? Because you hear those, like, people, those pressure points in the ear, you hit the wrong one, it'll paralyze you and you'll have a stroke.
Damn. Never heard of that. But I remember getting my ear pierced, for one day. And then I had to go to church the next day. Cryptids of the Corn said
Canada podcast stuff.
What does that mean? Like poutine?
What's going on is there are people getting
something happening in Canada podcast world?
I'm not familiar. Send me a link.
What are we missing there?
DM me a link. We could look.
Like I said, I'll talk about poutine all day. I don't know that much about it, but I love to eat it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh,
potatoes and gravy with cheese curds, little scallions, maybe a little green onion.
Yep.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. So I did hear some rumblings about that not too long ago about the regulating podcasts.
Oh,
and that's the direction they're going. Unfortunately, there in Canada, the regulating in terms of censoring as well. There's a lot of things that go along with that.
Are we getting censored for talking about poutine?
Basically, it's not going to be independent anymore. It's going to be regulated like the FCC would. Like if you're on a radio station, you can't say half the stuff that we talk about on our show. If we had a radio show on 99.7 FM,
right, sure,
we wouldn't have a show. So, the independent aspect is it passed, okay?
Oh, it passed there.
Well, not great. Grimerica boys. What's the big conspiracy podcast from Canada? I think it's Grimerica. I could be wrong. Sorry, Grimerica boys, but one of those guys are from Canada. I know they've been speaking out about it quite a bit.
I can't say who.
Some of the group.
Can't say who.
And with kind of like the tinfoil hat. Those guys all came up together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that does not sound, encouraging.
And so I wonder how that affects Cryptids of the Corn, average. Hollow Sky, The Strange Road, for people that are listening to an American show in Canada.
Should we start making a series called regulated? Like the Maple Syrup Murders or something? Like, should we go full Canadian and...
Better start moving south.
Come on down here.
Podcasters from Canada, come on down, buddy.
Come on down this way.
We have a
Canadian
growing
casters.
city. We'll help you, get rebooted in the studio.
Bring your secrets of poutine. Bring me your poutine.
All's Bubba's wants poutine.
I'm so hungry.
We'll help you in the process, but we need poutine.
I would love some poutine. And I'll tell you what else is
Columbus
happening.
Brewing Company's got good.
I'll tell you what else is happening. Tomorrow, Spicy Warriors Steak Sandwich Day.
Shout out to Warriors.
Unless it's not. And if it's not tomorrow, it's next week.
Didn't we have a whole conversation about Warriors in the chat Monday night?
I think I have a whole conversation about Warriors with myself, at least daily. It's like
for now, read that, bub.
For now, it does not affect other countries' podcasts, but there are talks about that too. So basically, what he's saying
that's what I've heard.
Man. So yeah, maybe I'll tell you what. If you're Canadian and you're podcasting and you are getting dinged up there, move below the belt. Come on down.
But even then, we have listeners in Canada.
They can listen to us.
Well,
they can listen to us. Didn't you see what he's saying? For now, it does not affect other countries.
Right.
Right now, we're fine.
Right.
Right now, we're skating.
But it's like anything. It's a slippery slope. They don't have the first, they don't have the First Amendment in their Constitution. They don't have freedom of speech. UK doesn't have freedom of speech.
Well,
when they go and battle these things in court, they're still connected to, they're a principality or whatever of England still. They're under the crown.
Yeah, bend the knee, baby.
So, at least we have the First Amendment that can protect.
Get Prince Charles over, or not Prince, sorry, King Charles. He's waited long enough, damn it. Old sausage fingers. That might be a conspiracy.
Bub is right. Bub's always right.
I'm not always right. Jesus. I'll tell you what, I'm like a broke watch. 2 times a day I might be right.
Oh, man. Anything else, guys? Anything you guys want to talk about, want to chat about? If we know Bo Diddley, we'll let you know, mostly. But we can talk about, I think, a couple episodes that we have coming up. We have Zeus Tapato, guys. We had
Round
Zeus
2.
back on with a follow-up episode. His research, his DMT virtual reality research, he's able to talk about it a little bit. So we had an amazing conversation with him. Last week, that was in the can. So Zeus Tapato, round 2 is coming up. And then we had the returning champ, Jeffrey Wilson.
Oh, my.
Down here last Friday
in for that one when we
for
put it out.
An epic episode.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know, was 5 hours long. And then Jeff talked to us 2 hours before we went live and then stayed here and talked to us for another 2 hours after.
I can't.
I was talk about your cup being full, bro.
Yeah, we went and got pizza before it at Mikey's.
We went and got pizza at Mikey's Late Night Slice.
God, was that good. And by the way, kudos to them for throwing up the deals. If you haven't been to Mikey's Late Night in a while, and I don't know if it's everywhere, but the one
buy 3 slice deal.
There's all kind of deals. Like, get a pie, order one, take it out with you, but we were getting all kinds of pieces of pizza. So it's killer stuff.
Yep.
God, it was good.
So keep an eye on that, guys. Jeffrey Wilson came on to talk about his new book, The Expanded Edition of Ancient Monuments of the Mississippi Valley, which was written by Squire and Davis in 1840. It was the first book ever written under the Smithsonian. So the Smithsonian was very, very new. Jeff uncovered an unbelievable amount of
hold on, we got 4 or 5 hours that they can just watch it.
I know.
We don't even need to tell you.
But just
know that it's coming.
Just priming for that. Jeff,
get ready for the holidays.
Promoting his new book.
Yeah.
Ready for some Jeff Wilson stuff. Shout out to you, Born Not to Run. I'm with you. We had a great time on that.
It's good stuff.
We have a wonderful guest coming in this week. Next week we have another great recording. We'll kind of keep those on. We got some cool stuff coming up. But
yeah.
Stay tuned, guys. And again, like I said in the beginning, reach out. Tell us what you want us to cover. We'd love to develop we really want to develop a new kind of research deep dive kind of episode format where all of us kind of get to hang out and do this and a little bit more laid back. And, with the guests, it's kind of hard to interact with you guys sometimes. We would love Strange Happenings.
Yeah.
So we get to kick it with you guys. It's much more chill. So we'd love to, keep creating stuff like that. And so we're making some bandwidth and clearing out the cobwebs to make room for some incredible stuff coming your way in 2024.
We'll be ready to go.
Stay with us. I know you guys will. If we would start boring the hell out of you, I would leave too. But
I don't think we're getting more boring. I think, if anything, we're getting more loose. So, just get ready. We're going to have some good stuff coming up.
Yep.
We like bringing fun content to you guys. We hopefully bring you great quality, great production quality from Kyle and Matt back there in Master Control, making it look and all sound just so good and making our job out here super fun, super easy. What I like to do most, talk about crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a hog in heaven right
Stoner's
here, man.
dad. Do you know anyone who makes Loveland Frogman walking sticks? I don't. Why do you, Stoner's dad? Is that what you're working on right now?
You're making Loveland Frogman walking sticks?
He says,
That's amazing.
Do we know anybody that's making them? I'm like, no, I don't. But are you?
I was about to say, that's a very specific request.
Stoner's dad is a craft wizard, y'all.
Yeah,
he literally
very
is like,
handy.
Yeah, like Martha Stewart level crafty. I'm not joking, bro. Like wool napping, like what? He does it all.
I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, carvings. It's ridiculous. Loveland Frog Woman. I can't read. The heart's in the way.
Make some. Oh, ask Kyle.
Loveland Frog Woman.
Kyle might have a Loveland Frogman walking stick.
Ask Kyle. Kyle, you got a Loveland Frogman walking stick? Anybody? So all you guys remember on Monday, if you were there, the pooter tutor that Brandon, do we have one?
I don't have one, but I do.
Brandon sent us 4 pooter tutors, y'all.
Today we got 4 pooter tutors,
and that's what
from Amazon.
Kyle's answer was several fart noises. From
when I first got the package too, I was like, it was addressed to like the Strange Crew or whatever, and I was like, what the hell is this? And then I was like looking at it, I was like, it's like a salt shaker or what is this thing? And like, oh my goodness. That's so thank you, Brandon. We appreciate the heck out of that, man. That's going to bring some levity. I'll tell you what's funny though I was just doing it just because I'm like ADD and I'm like, obsessive compulsive at certain times. So I'm on meetings. And I was like, just ripping these hand farts.
You were muted, though, yeah?
No. That's why I realized. Oh, there it is. There you go.
Thanks, Matt.
I don't know if I can.
Get it. Here, I'll do it. Give it to me. I've been practicing. Yeah. Give it to me. There it is. Get it in the mic. You're horrible. Give me that thing.
I can fart in real life. I just can't fake fart.
That's good. You get the point.
You try it.
Yeah.
I got to work it out. It's just because my hands are dry too. And this goes back to I don't like to have lotion on my hands because, if you have doorknobs and if there's a fire, I got slick hands. I can't open that.
I had it earlier. Well, anyway.
You get the gist of it. We'll be working on it. Brandon will be working on our skills with that.
All right. Well, you guys can find us at The Strange Road, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever you listen to your podcast. Please do that. Share that episode. If you're in YouTube, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It's got to be the white one, or you ain't going to get notified for jack squat. It's like, why subscribe and then hide the notification bells?
Yeah.
Not sure. So hit that all. Go follow Necromechanimal on Instagram. Go follow us, The Strange Road.
Oh, wow. Check out what Necro just said.
Yeah. Shout out.
Got a shout out for the OBDM or the Our Big Dumb Mouth with Midnight Mike. Was that Crutched or Crocheted and Joe? I'm going to have to go look into that.
Yeah.
I know I've heard it. I think I've listened to it and probably because Necro has tossed it my way, but
yeah, I
know I've heard Midnight Mike before and I know I've seen that acronym of OBDM. I didn't realize it stood for Our Big Dumb Mouth, but I've actually listened to a couple of different podcasts that he sent my way.
So big shout out.
Necro's always on the podcaster.
Oh, dude.
Necro knows
you want to know about podcasts, you hit up Necro. So shout out to OBDM.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Appreciate it.
Our Big Dumb Mouth. Shout out to you guys.
Check them out.
Shit, we'd love to collaborate or do a swap cast or
that would be fun.
I'm going to check out their show right now. So big love to all you content creators out there. Big love to Necro and Burton if you were in here and anybody out that's out there hustling. Cryptids of the Corn is bringing the fire. You guys are on fire, that bus, dude. We got to see that bus.
I want to get on that bus.
I want to tour.
I want to be like Stifler, but not from American Pie, from Road Trip when they get the bus to the song I Want to Rock.
And by the way, who's driving the bus? Is Jay driving the bus or is Justin driving the bus? I'm betting you Mr. E's in behind the wheel of that baby. You just picture him doing tours with a big megaphone.
I just imagine Jay driving that bus and Justin with the on the comm.
All right, here.
All right, slow down, Jay. Slow down now.
Out of your left window, this is where the Mothman first appeared.
We love you guys. I do want to see that bus, though.
Oh, we got to get that going.
Tell you what, we could turn that into a mobile podcast show on the way to an event.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Okay, now I'm getting crazy with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Road Trip. Hell yeah. Road Trip's
Right.
the best.
God, it's a good movie.
All right, we're going to put this baby to bed. Thank you to all of you guys in here. Sess in the City, Born Not to Run, Stoner's dad, of course.
And Stoner and Disbro. Again,
yeah, absolutely. Jay Lamb, if you're in there. All you guys rule. Peace, love, peace, and chicken grease.
Till next time, guys.
We're out.
Thank you.
Much love.